Hey, happy Friday, everybody. It is time for the Friday Five. Thank you for joining me on this Friday episode of 5 Minutes with Phil. We are staring down the weekend, and here we go. We've made it, right? We've made it to Friday. And now the weekend is upon us, and it is time for us to unpack God's Word together once again and encourage you and me as we look at God's Word. And boy, I think we got a good one, especially for those of us today that are facing some battles. We might be facing some crisis times in our lives, difficulties. You know, Jesus said that in this world we would have trouble. And it's not a sign of a lack of faith to admit that. I mean, if we're going through a health crisis, if we're going through trouble at work, if we're going through some things that are really hard for us to deal with, Jesus warned us that would be the case. But what is our attitude towards that? That's the question. Well, I want to show you 2 Corinthians chapter 4. 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 17 and 18 give us a great perspective on looking at the troubles that we go through. Take a look at this, okay? Verse 17 says this, "For our present troubles are small and won't last very long. Yet they produce for us a glory that vastly outweighs them and will last forever. So we don't look at the troubles that we can see now. Rather, we fix our gaze on things that cannot be seen. For the things we see now will soon be gone, but the things that we cannot see will last forever." There are a number of people in my life who are going through some really serious circumstances and situations and troubles and hardships, so whatever word you want to put there. And I refuse to minimize what they're facing because I think that would be wrong. And I say this all the time at church, I also refuse to not only minimize what they're facing, but I don't want to maximize it either. And these two verses are part of that reason. Because Paul here, a guy who went through some stuff, by the way, guy who was beaten, guy who was jailed, guy who was shipwrecked. I mean, this guy went through it. And he says that the present troubles that we have actually are small. And they won't last very long. Now, what is he comparing it to? See, he says, okay, this is the stuff that you can visibly see. This is the stuff that you can you can notice easily as to what you're facing, what you're going through, all this stuff. But those things that are visible, they're only temporary. They won't last long. The stuff that we cannot see, that lasts forever. And Paul encourages this church in Corinth to not put all of their attention and to not put all their perspective on what they can see or feel or sense right now. Rather, he tells them to fix their gaze. He tells them to put their perspective on what they cannot see, the eternal, the fact that one day we'll be with Jesus, the fact that there's a bigger picture going on here, and God might actually use the troubles that I'm facing right now for His glory, and maybe we can't even see that yet. And to be honest with you, we don't have to see that yet to validate that statement. We just know that we can trust in God. And we know that our gaze does not need to be fixed on this earthly stuff, this temporary body of ours, this earthly situation. Our perspective needs to be on God and on eternity. And if our perspective can change like that, wow, that will make a difference in how we deal with the troubles that we face. We're not ignoring the problem. We're admitting there's a problem. Well, we know the problem is temporary. But we know that God and everything God has for us is forever. So, to all of you who are facing some stuff today, please know that it's only temporary, but God is forever. Fix your gaze on those things that are eternal. And with that, I want to wish you a great weekend. Know that we love you here, and Lord willing, we'll see you again next time. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.